Hey guys, so it is Friday night and things probably look a little bit different from the last time you saw the beading. So here's where we ended. I ended for the week. I'm about to pick up the Raven Queen for a week and see what we can do with her. So just zoom in on the beading here. I think last week I showed you I had some of this done. I don't remember. But you probably would have seen it just seconds ago, and now I have all of this beading done. So this is where I stopped. The last time I recorded, I said that it was important to go in the same direction every single time because your beads will lay differently. That's not true. So I'm still going left to right. But it really didn't matter if I started at the top or the bottom. So I'm only going through the bead one time, like I said. I'm not going through it twice because it would be extremely difficult to do. But everything seems to be laying okay, I guess. It looks good to me. This square right here is completely incorrect. So where I have all of these mulberry beads, as I'm calling them, yeah, they're supposed to be cream colored. So I'm a little bit concerned about that because I don't know how many beads they gave in the package, how many extra beads. I'm assuming they gave a few extra, but oops, wrong way. Like I said, I think these are the same beads that I used in the Raven Queen. So if push comes to shove, I guess it'll be okay. There were supposed to be these cream beads over here. Overall, I'm loving this project. Haven't had any major problems with it, except distinguishing this, what do you call this, olive green from this mustard yellow. That's where it got a little tricky. The olive green is the mulberry color bead, and the mustard yellow is that cream colored bead. So that's where I made a mistake. I got cocky and wasn't looking at my key pattern, so. But these are the beads stitched with the white Nymo thread. You can't really see the thread at all. So I just used white thread all the way throughout, and that's where I stopped. So there you go. Little African lady needle minder seemed appropriate. So she'll be going away for the rotation. I guess I started my rotation back up because once I am done with the Raven Queen, I'm going to stitch on her for like a week. I don't feel like getting burnt out anymore, so I'm going to stitch on her for like a week, and then I'm going to get on the Chatelaine train for a little while. Alright, that's it for now. Bye-bye. Hey guys, it is me. I just wanted to show you our girl is done. I have finished all of the stitching and I am about to start beading, but I wanted to show her to you in all of her glory and all of her decadence. And I cannot believe how long this skirt took. This skirt for days, but I am absolutely in awe of how the folds of her skirt show up. Seriously. So zooming in, we see all the empty spaces where the beads need to go. There'll be beads all along the border and all within the body of her skirt, her dress rather. Oh, look at all that cat hair. Lots of specialty fibers. Yeah, there's the infamous arm. She has an ace bandage on her arm. on both of her arms. We're not sure what happened to her, but yeah, both of her arms are wrapped in ace bandages. And there will be her beautiful necklace and her crown. But yeah, whoops, went the wrong way. Pretty happy with her. Started her in September of 2015. I'm giving like this whole setup like she's actually done. I still have beading left to do. So she was going to be finished with the rotation. That doesn't make sense. It's late, guys. It's like 10:50 at night on Tuesday, April 4th. So I'm kind of tired, but I guarantee I'm going to put at least one bead in her before I lay down and go to sleep. I started her in September of 2015, and my plan was to keep her in rotation this week until Friday, and then start up something new on Saturday. But I do believe, at least I plan to, get all the beading done well before Friday. We'll see how that goes. It's kind of like when Jessie Marie finished her Persephone, and she said, oh, I'm just going to knock out the beading this weekend. I said in my comments that I think every time we say I'm just going to knock out the beading in a couple of days, the beads play a drinking game and make each other take a drink every time we say that. Because it never takes a couple of days at all, does it? But I will say I am going to bead her until she's done. So I'm excited. But that's her. Next time we see her, she will be beaded up and she'll be a finished project. Nighty night, guys. Hey guys, it is Saturday, April 15th, and I thought I would do a quick little video just giving you a bit of a rundown on the Raven Queen, who is finished in all of her glory. I finished her, I don't know when I finished her. I don't remember off the top of my head. I want to say it was March 24th. I think it was actually March 24th. And I actually didn't finish her that day because I forgot to do these beads on the border. But for all intents and purposes, I did finish her. I just didn't realize it, I think until last weekend, that I didn't do the border beads. So I put those on real quick. And I added my signature, LB 2017. So just to give you a quick rundown, or not so quick rundown, from beginning to end on all the interesting pieces. You can see I did her skin 1/1. And there is her crown with all her beads that actually look a little crooked right now. No, they don't look crooked. They are crooked. I have to straighten them out. I just gave her an iron, so things are a little wonky, I guess. So I'll make sure she's straightened out before she's framed. I am going to try to frame her myself. Don't have any details on that yet. There are her beautiful earrings, her necklace, and the collar, I guess you could say. This is the fuzzy whisper thread, giving that three-dimensional effect. A little specialty fiber right there. And she has the gold krennic in her hair buns. I did make her hair, a little darker because I was trying to give her an Asian feel. As you know, I'm trying to make all my Mirabilias multicultural. So I have At the Met, who is African American, and now I have Kim Chi, who I named after a drag queen on RuPaul's Drag Race, who is Asian, and I think she's absolutely beautiful. Coming down to her dress with the Karen water lilies and all of the beading I wasn't quite sure on why we had these pink beads in this blue and green and black ball gown, but they work somehow. So this is her. Now this skirt, honestly, this skirt was something else. It really was. But when I look at the folds in the skirt and how they show up on the finished product, it really speaks volumes to the design itself. I just think the skirt is just magnificent. It almost has a three-dimensional effect to it. In comparison to at the Met, the Raven Queen had significantly less beading, but still enough. So that's the Raven Queen, all finished up. Alright. Next, once I finished working on the Raven Queen, I went into my Chatelaine. So I am working on Blue Moroccan Lace by Shadowland. This is my progress on it thus far. And what I did this go round, I went in and filled in some more of the blue here. But I actually got into a lot of the specialty stitches now. Well, not a lot, but I did the Algerian eyelets here in this darker blue. The Algerian eyelets are going all around the perimeter there. And I stopped working on the dense road stitches. So the dense road stitches, there's a lot of them. These are done in Karen water lilies, and you can kind of see the color variation going from light blue into a subtle lavender. So this thread has very light, very subtle variegation, but you can see it. Alright, so oops, so that's coming together quite well. Wasn't anything really tricky about the Chatelaine this go round. Oh, I'm lying, it was a little bit. It was kind of difficult for me to tell how to, or what colors to use for the Algerian eyelets and the dense road stitches, because when you get to the specialty stitches in the pattern, it's not quite as obvious what colors you should be using as it is for the cross stitches. So she has her directions for the specialty stitches in a separate on a separate page, and she describes what to use working from the center out. So when you look at the pattern, she'll say the first set of dense road stitches, which are right here, she'll say the first set of dense road stitches starting out from the center will be in such and such a color, and then she'll say the 4 Algerian eyelets, the set of 4 Algerian eyelets, which is referring to these right here, 1, 2, 3, 4. They'll be in a different color. Then she'll say the next set of Algerian eyelets, and then coming out here, that would be these, and then she'll say the next set of dense road stitches will be in such and such a color. And then she'll go out to describe the next set of specialty stitches and the next set of specialty stitches. So you kind of have to read the sheet and look at the pattern at the same time to know what she's talking about, because in this particular center motif, there are 2 sets of I'm sorry, I'm losing my words, 2 sets of Algerian eyelets. So one set are these smaller squares, and then the other are more of a rectangular shape. So you really got to pay attention to the pattern. I think that's one of the most difficult things about the Chatelaines. It's not something we're used to just looking at a chart and knowing where to stitch based off of what the chart dictates and looking at the color keys. It's fairly simple, but when it comes to the Chatelaines, you really have to pay attention to the directions. You can't just look at the chart and go for it. So I think that is one of the most difficult things to get used to with the Chatelaine, other than, you know, taking on different types of specialty stitches. So these weren't too difficult for me. because I've done these before. Hardest thing about the Algerian eyelet, I think, is being comfortable with pulling, like right here. Let me focus. To get that hole in the center, you really have to give it a little tug, which is kind of intimidating, I guess, because you don't want to, typically we're not inclined to put holes in our fabric, but to get the effect that you see here, you have to pull it. You have to pull that thread. So there we go. So I probably won't be working on this for another few weeks or so. I'm trying to keep my rotation down to 3 or 4. Right now there's 3 whips that I am actively working on. My African Princess with the beads, my blue Moroccan lace, which you see here, and then the Funky Fish Carnival, which I actually just started yesterday. So I'll show you some progress on that. So this is the Funky Fish Carnival by Heaven and Earth Designs. This is really fun to work on. This is on page 2, and it's a longer pattern, so it doesn't go vertically like most Heaven and Earth Designs do. It's more of a horizontal pattern, so I'm working across. So what you see right here is page 2. Can zoom in a little bit here. Look at the fish. It's very colorful. And down here, this is going to be a mask, like there's some sort of looks like some sort of underwater Mayan village or something, that's Mayan artifacts that are underwater somehow, and the fish are swimming around them. That's what it looks like on the pattern. And here I am working on page 2. You can see that I did grid with some fishing line when I first started, but I think when I continue on to gridding the next page, I'm going to use my Sulky Hollow Shimmer. And that is this here. How pretty is that? So I'll be gridding from now on with my Sulky Hollow Shimmer. Because I'm stitching on 25 count, it's a little bit small, so I'm not going to be using my marker that I but that I often use, like what I used on Rafiki. The holes are too small. So this is 25 count 1/1. And if anybody is interested in seeing what that looks like up close, that's too close. There you go. That's the coverage. It's pretty good. Pretty good. So you don't see any fabric using 1/1 with 25 count. So when you zoom back, it really does look pretty great, I think. You can really see a lot of detail coming to life. So this is page 2 that I'm working on. So I'll be working on this until, or through next Friday, I should say. That's pretty interesting. I did get a little bit of haul, just a little. I went to JoAnn's last 2 weeks ago, maybe a week and a half ago, because, well, I went in there for some specific items to work on or get started on framing Rafiki, and I was reading on Facebook how the prices of the DMC were about to skyrocket, anywhere from 52 cents up to 75 cents toward the end of April. And when I was going into the store at that time, they were on sale for 3 for 99 cents with 20% off. So I used that as an opportunity to kind of stock up on some DMC, but I found some other deals in there because it was actually a really good sale, because you had 20% off your total purchase. The DMC was 3 for 99, and then I had 2 separate 50% off coupons, one of which I was going to use on getting an actual frame for Rafiki, which I did. And the other one, I'll show you what I did with that. But first, I want to show you my find that I found on Amazon. This is Ancient Egyptian Cross Stitch. It's a hardback it's a hardcover book by Barbara Hammett, and this was $2 on Amazon. So lots of good stuff in here. You know, pretty good patterns. So I'll do a flip through on this when I'm actually in front of the camera. It'll be a little bit easier for me to navigate through the book and show you what's in here without showing you the pattern. So I'll do a flip through on that. But some other things that I purchased. I got this pattern. This was on clearance for $5. And it's called My Day Off. It's a Design Works pattern. And yeah, I can see myself doing that on my day off. She's chilling in the bathtub on a patio facing the ocean, listening to some music. Has a little kitty cat sitting on her foot, a bottle of wine, and a whole entire cake. Why the hell not? Next kit that I purchased, I've always liked this kit. Always liked this kit, and then I found it for $5.97. And it must have been marked down a million times because there's like 5 red clearance stickers on here. So that's pretty cool. But for $5.97, I'm all about it. And finally, what would haul be without a Peacock parade? So here we go. I have been looking at this pattern and coveting this pattern for some time. So this is the Indian Peacock kit by Dimensions. And I used my 50% off coupon to get this. So I'm not going to stitch this on the 14 count Aida that it comes with. I think I'm going to stitch it on 25 count, 1/1. Or 18 count, maybe on black. That might be an idea, actually. That actually might be what happens. 18 count black Aida. I found on Amazon, they had 59 by 36 inch pieces of 18 count black Aida for, I think it was $17.99, which was an amazing deal. 59 inches by 36 inches for $17.99. So I bought a couple of those because it's black Aida and it's cheaper than I would ever find it, and it's not heavily starched, so it's really pliable. So I'm excited about that. But I finally got this pattern in my possession. I've been stitching it vicariously through Cassandra, watching her progress, and I absolutely love it. But now that I just mentioned the black Aida, I'm even more excited. So that's what we have going on right now. I think that when I am done working on my funky fish for this week, I am going to pull out an oldie but goodie that I'm not going to show on this channel because it's for my husband, but I will post it in Stitch Mania, so be on the lookout for that. You guys have seen it before. Deborah Flatfassler knows that pattern very well, I'll say that. So that's it for now. Until next time, bye-bye. Hey guys, it's me. It is, what's today? Monday? I don't know. It's Monday, the 17th of April. And I got my 1, 2, 3 stitch package in that I've been waiting for. Not a whole lot in here, but I have questions. So I thought I'd share it and ask a couple of questions. So I got a couple of pieces of fabric. I got a 36 count piece of Edinburgh, I don't know, linen in Mellow. And I noticed, is this new? That we're stapling fabric now? The tags? Is this new? I don't remember my fabric ever being stapled. But I got 2 pieces of fabric. This is Serene, 32 count Belfast linen, stapled. Now, obviously, I'm not going to use a staple remover to get that out. I'm going to painstakingly pry the staple open and carefully take it out. But I would like to think I would have noticed if my fabric was stapled. Is this new? I don't know. I don't remember it ever being stapled. But anyway, as you can see, this must be truly the year of whips for me, or the year of finishes, because I am, as I'm about to show you, a new kit, really working on my whips. This one is actually going to be restarted. I think I was doing Maxim and Zoya before on a piece of 40 count. I don't know. And I'm sitting here pausing because I swear I ordered 36 count, not 32. Did I order 32 count? I don't know what I did. I have to look at the invoice. But anyway, so I'm going to obviously resurrect Maxim and Zoya. But I feel like I'm working on a lot of my whips right now, as opposed to, I'm still buying stuff, let's keep it real, but I'm not buying as much as I normally do, I guess. But anyway, that's all to say. I'm going to be bringing Maxim and Zoya out, not anytime soon, maybe when I get another finish. But I really love that pattern. I think I was mad at the pattern. I got mad at the pattern because I went to my local needle workshop and I bought the called for NPI silks, and it was utterly ridiculous. I don't know why I did it. I should have just gone with DMC. But it was one of those moments, and I don't know. I can't explain my actions. It was a moment of weakness. But anyway, I was mad at how much I paid for that entire kit. It wasn't a kit, but I kitted it up. I don't know. I just should have gone with the DMC, but making the story much longer than it has to be. So anyway, speaking of buying new stuff, I was watching one of Trisha's videos, Trisha the left-handed stitcher. Hi Trisha. And she held up this pattern that she got in her carousel kit, and I literally paused the video and went to 1, 2, 3 stitch because I absolutely loved the saying. It's by La Di Da. It's called Softly Walk. And softly walk and wisely speak, lest you harm the strong or wound the weak. I absolutely loved this. Loved it. So that's what Mellow is for. This particular fabric. So I'm going to stitch that up. I did get the recommended Gentle Art sampler threads. So let's take a look-see at these. Got Bayberry, Soot, beautiful variegated gray, Tarnished Gold, Dried Thyme, Cinnamon. I don't know why I'm trying to read this through the screen of the camera when I can really just look at the tag and read it that way. I don't know why I make things difficult in my life. And finally, Old Red Paint. And there's one that's missing because they didn't have it in stock. So I don't know. These have nice variegations, so I might look for it, or I might do a DMC substitute if they have it. Also picked up some notions, picked up some more Beadalon, but this time, sorry about the shadow, I'm losing my light here. Some Beadalon thread, size B. This is in black. It was like $1.67, so I got 2 of them. Because that's what you do when things are $1.67, I guess. And then I got some Stitch Witchery to treat my edges of my fabric. Going old school. This is what I used to use all the time. All the time. Because I'm too lazy to go into the garage and blow the dust off the sewing machine. So I use Stitch Witchery. Say that 3 times fast. And it worked wonders. Last but not least, I've been wanting one of these kits for like ever. And every time I see one of them kitted up, it's absolutely magnificent. So I got a Thea Governor. This is not one of the crazy expensive ones. This is one of the more modest kits. You know, these can go up to like well over $100. That's not what I paid. And I got mine in black. So that's the kit. It is St. Basil's Cathedral in Moscow. So here, trying to not lose my light here, guys. It's Twilight. Twilight. Why did I say that? That was so obnoxious. The sun's going down. So I'm losing my light here. But these are some of the kits that she does have out now. Really, that one's covered up by the needle. Sorry about that. Really impressive. Beautiful work. There's somebody that's stitching up one of them on Stitch Mania right now, and it's insane. It is so beautiful. It's so beautiful. I want to say it's London. I don't know. I can't think off the top of my head. But this is stitched on 18 count Aida, and it's just spectacular. Look at that. I've always wanted one of her kits. So now I have one. Don't know exactly when I'm going to stitch it, but I love the colors. I saw a picture of it stitched up, and the colors are much more bold and rich than what's seen here in the picture, but pretty spectacular. And then, funny thing, I was looking on Stitch Mania, and I saw somebody posted a link to people that were interested in stitching this pattern, and it was on Etsy. It said people interested in stitching St. Basil's Cathedral, or Basil. Is it Basil or Basil? I don't want to misspeak, but interested in stitching I'm going to say Basil, St. Basil's Cathedral, and it was a link to Etsy. And when I clicked on the link, and wouldn't you know it, it's this pattern for $2.95, and I'm like, that's Thea's pattern. I don't know, guys. I was dumbfounded that it was $2.95. But I got the kit. I got it, the original. So I'm excited about that. That's beautiful. But that's all I have for now. Also, you know what I also wanted to ask? La-di-da. So this is my first la-di-da pattern. I'm not going to flip it over because the pattern is in your face on the other side. But are these, like, is this right that it's just one sheet? One piece of cardboard paper with the pattern on the other side? I was like, is there supposed to, I thought it was a booklet or something? I don't know. Everything I need is on the other side of this page, but I don't even know what to call this. It's not a pamphlet. It's not a leaflet. It's just this. This is it. Just one piece of paper. Well, it's not cardboard even, you know. You know what it's called. But anyway, I'm rambling at this point. I just wanted to not just show you guys what I had, but ask some questions about these staples that I don't approve of. I really don't approve of these staples in my fabric. That's what I wanted to show you guys. But I figured while I'm at it, might as well show my goods while I'm at it, you know? Alright guys, until next time, it's a beautiful evening. So I hope you're enjoying your evening as well and enjoying some stitchy time. It's only Monday, so this week is just getting started. But I am going to have some dinner. I am going to put away this minor mess that I just made, and till next time, bye. Hey guys, it's me, the crafty curator, Letitia. Today is June 30th, and it's probably been about 2 months since my last video. I think I uploaded my last video at the end of March, so April, May, June. It's been about 3 months actually. So it's the last day of June. Tomorrow is July 1st. And I'm pretty amazed at how fast this year is going by. I know I put something at the beginning of this video, but I did want to just mention, if everybody doesn't know, this past week we lost a dear member of our Flosstube community, or the stitching community. We lost Bev, who was from Bev Teddy Bear and Crafts. And one thing that I would like to say about our dearly departed friend. When I first started making videos, Flosstube videos, and I want to say I'm in maybe my 3rd year now. If it's not my 3rd year, I'm tap dancing on it. I think it's my 3rd year. Bev was one of my original followers. She always left a kind comment or supportive comment, but I am challenged to find a video or a Flosstube that I've uploaded where Bev did not comment. And what I've learned from the comments that have been left about her, there have been posts on Facebook, there have been posts on Instagram. It's very clear that she loved this community. So I just wanted to just say a special thanks to her and just give her a shout out, you know. And I wish she knew how much we appreciated her. And I love that she was so dearly appreciated. She was a wonderful member of this community, and she'll be dearly missed. So just wanted to say that real quick. But jumping back in, it's been a while since I recorded. But before we go any further and talk about what I'm going to show you today, let's address the elephant in the room. There's a situation up here, and I'm aware of it. I'm aware. Today we went on a day cruise. And in Baltimore, they have something that's called the Spirit of Baltimore, where it takes you on this beautiful tour throughout the Inner Harbor. You go all around, and it's like maybe a 3-4 hour tour. It's beautiful. You have a nice lunch. It's a catered lunch, and there's dancing and music. You can go up to the observation deck. Well, I went up to the observation deck after lunch, and it was a work event. It was a work-related event. And one of my coworkers came up to me. It was 93 degrees out today. It was a beautiful day. Windy, obviously, on the water, obviously. So he comes up to me, and, well, he's randomly walking around, and he's like, does anybody play chess? And I'm like, I do, you know. And he says, would you like to play a game? And he just happened to bring this large travel chess game with him. And we sat on that observation deck in whatever degree weather it was, with the wind blowing. I think we sat there for maybe an hour and some change and played a wonderful game of chess. And I haven't played chess in about 20 years, maybe. At least 20 years. My father taught me, and my brother when we were much younger, and I used to play with my brother. And my brother has been deceased over 20 years now. And I'm pretty sure that's the last time I played chess. None of my girlfriends played. My husband plays a little, but we've never played, so I'm assuming that's how long it's been. Long story short, I was on this cruise in the wind outside for well over an hour because I was already sitting out there when he walked up to me. And when I got, we took a tour, what do you call it? A bus, not a tour bus, what do you call it? A charter bus. We took a charter bus to the boat, and then it took us back to the office. And when I got in my car to go home and saw myself in the mirror, I looked like a wild animal. And I'm recording this video this evening. I didn't even try to tame the hair. It's just, I put a headband on. At least I did that much. But anyway, that's that. So that's the elephant in the room. So the majority of this video is going to be whips and a wonderful, mind-blowing gift that I received that I want to share with you all. So let's jump right in. You know, I have my pile around me, and I'm going to do my best. I'm going to do my best to insert pictures of each project. So I'm not going to show you the picture while I'm showing you the whip, but I am going to do my best to insert pictures. I'm going to try to get fancy with y'all this time around. So the first one I'm unfolding, this is a brand new start. I haven't done a lot of shopping recently in the past few months. There's one thing that I did purchase that I don't know when the clip is coming up, either before or after this, but I went through that. So I'm not going to show that in this clip. But I go through these phases where I don't do a lot of buying Like I can't remember the last time I had a 1, 2, 3 stitch order, honestly. And I just placed one maybe 2 days ago. It was the first time in a very long time. But I did purchase that one thing. But other than that, I haven't really bought anything. So usually when I do that, if I'm not buying a whole bunch of things, I'll go through this other phase where I'm starting all the things. So I went from having like maybe 4, after the Raven Queen was finished, maybe 4 whips that I was rotating. Now I have a lot more than 4. So let's get started, shall we? I just started this one, I think 2 or 3 days ago. This is Rosewood Manor Autumn Quakers. And this is stitched on 28 count Lugana with the called for threads, the Valdani threads, in the little balls, the little, I think it's a 12 pack of threads. Now lately there's been a lot of posting in regard to Valdani's skeins, and people don't seem to be happy with them, but the 3-ply threads that you use all in one strand, you don't separate them, they're wonderful. And that's what this is. So hopefully you can see that and see the colors. And I'm doing everything 1 stitch at a time because all the balls are variegated. So I'm doing everything 1 stitch at a time to let that come through. So that is Rosewood Manor Autumn Quakers. And hopefully, I don't think I paused to say I'll insert a picture here. So I'm going to do that now. And I'll make sure that I pause at the beginning of the next whips so you can see the picture. So that is that. The next up, I didn't take this off the Q-snap. This is a little different for me. I have the material pack for Hidden Harbor by Andy Russell. I have a fixation with Andy Russell's work. I absolutely love it. Like the piece that Deborah Fassler is doing, AZ Needleworker. She's doing, I don't remember the name of it, but it's a southwestern type of vibe to it with the cacti and the sand and the little southwestern ceramic pieces scattered in the desert with the midnight sky. It's absolutely beautiful. Like every time I look at that, and I've been eyeballing that piece for a long time, so I'm absolutely loving watching her do it and watching it come to life. But every time I see that piece, it reminds me of New Mexico, which is where my dad lived. I haven't purchased it, but maybe one day, but I've been eyeballing it forever. But I do have Hidden Harbor and I have Daybreak by Andy Russell. And I think those are the only 2 that I have, but I love his artwork and I love the color choices. It's just absolutely beautiful. So look him up on Heaven and Earth Designs if you're so inclined. But this particular piece, this is my start on Hidden Harbor on 25 count. I'm going to insert the picture here. Forgot to say it again. But this is 25 count, and this is my start on page 1. And guys, this is 10 stitch. I don't do 10 stitch, but I do now, and it looks amazing. And I don't know why I never did it before. I think I didn't like the coverage, or maybe I was using the wrong count, but 25 count 2/1 is amazing. This guy, all I can tell you is that his name is John. He posted something in, he posted it in the Heaven and Earth Designs group of this woman. I think she has like a flower in her hair. It was a Heaven and Earth design, and he did the whole thing, 25 count, 10 stitch, 2/1. And I'm telling you, this thing was spectacular, and that's what inspired me to pull this project out. I actually started this with the first line, like literally this little section right here, there's X's in there, full cross 1/1 X's, and I just did the rest in 10. And it's amazing. I mean, I really love it. I really love how that's coming out. The coverage is awesome. But he also posted a picture of his current work in progress that he's doing on 18 count. And he's doing 4/1. So there's no loss, 10 stitch. There's no loss in floss usage, in my opinion, unless my math is off. Because if you're doing 2/1 full cross, to me that's the equivalent of doing 4/1 and 10. So it sounds like it's a lot of floss, but it's really not. It's the same amount of floss because you're only going in one direction. So Hidden Harbor by Andy Russell. Loving it. The next one, this is one we all know. Oh, no, I'm not doing that because I'm about to knock everything over. The next one is one that I started from a kit that I had by, from Why I Oughta Cross Stitch. And it's spelled YIOTAXS.com. And I'll insert that link below. But this is the tribal monkey, and I will insert a picture here. And this is my progress. I absolutely love this. The colors are so vibrant. I don't know if they're going to show up as they should here, but the colors, like this green is almost like a day glow green. It's obnoxiously bright, but it works. There you go. This is stitched on 28 count. I don't know, Cashel, Belfast. It's on linen. I know that. 28 count linen in Antique Violet by XJUdesigns. Excuse me, I showed off some of the fabrics that I purchased from her in my last video, and they're absolutely wonderful. I love her service. It comes from Hungary, but she has excellent deals. Like right now she has a deal where it's free shipping if you spend a certain amount, or if your shipping comes to over $35, something like that. It's expensive shipping from Hungary. You put in the coupon code, she gives you free shipping. And the prices are great. So it takes a little bit longer, but I usually get my orders within like a week and a half. It's pretty good. So anyway, this is stitched on XJUdesigns fabric, 28 count linen in Antique Violet, and that is my tribal monkey. Now what I want to do with this, because initially I was like, I want this to be in a tote bag or something, but I think it was Tracy that had an idea to turn something she was working on, or she finished, into a project bag. And apparently So Much to Love does that, where if you send her a finished piece, she'll turn it into a project bag for you somehow. And I think, and I named her because she's the only one that I know that does this, but just making sure that was still recording, sorry. But I think that might be what I want to do with this when it's done. Either that, or maybe I'll go back to the tote bag idea, but it's definitely something that I don't want to frame. It's something that I want to be some type of form of usable art. So either a project bag or a tote bag. Clearly this will not, that will not be done by me. I have to send that somewhere. I have a sewing machine. I know how to sew a straight line, but whatever that's turned into, I want it to be done by a professional. Or somebody that knows what they're doing at the very least. The next piece I have is my Funky Fish Carnival by Heaven and Earth Designs. And I'll insert a picture here of what the finished product is going to look like. And here's where we are with it. I love this pattern. This pattern. I love this let me go. You know I'm directionally challenged, folks, so bear with me. There we go. I love this project with all my heart and soul. I love the fish. I love the colors. I love that it's a horizontal pattern instead of vertical. For some reason, in my mind, it'll go quicker, but maybe not. I just love it. You know, I love anything with marine life in it. And normally I don't go for the cartoony type, for lack of a better word. Normally I go for the more realistic images, but Laura Ravenscroft is just like crazy good. And I just love it. So that's my progress there. I am currently on page 3, and that's being stitched on 25 count, 1/1, full cross. My next project, we all know and love, an oldie but goodie, is my blue Moroccan lace chatelaine. And I'll insert a picture of that final product here. And this is, if I can pick it up, let me fold it. One moment. This is my progress. I'm getting there, guys. So I think the last time you saw this, I guess I need to do a Shadowland experience video. See, that's what happens when you take too long to do videos. You forget about stuff. So just hit me now. I probably need to do an update because there's been progress, as you can see. So I'm not completely done in the middle, but I'm almost at the point where the only thing that will be left in this clover shaped area will be beads. And no, I still don't know if I'm going to do the beading before I start working outward or if I'm going to come back. I honestly still don't know. The only thing I've done as far as beads go, I have these little beads in the middle, right here. When I first started this project, I had the whole middle section beaded, and then I decided that they were beads that I wasn't used to working with, so they weren't laying properly. So I took the beads out and I decided to just do the stitching. So I'm probably just going to keep doing the stitching and just do the beading for last, like they tell you to do. I'm not showing I'm not showing my beaded princess, now known as Erykah Badu, because that's who she reminds me of. That was named by a fellow stitcher. I'm sorry, I don't remember who you are, but another stitcher named her for me, and I just agreed that her name should be Erykah Badu. I'm not showing that because I've already inserted a clip of where I am with that, and I haven't touched it since that clip, so that's still what it looks like. The last whip I want to show you, I talked about this in my last video. I think I showed the fabric, one of my last videos, either my last one or the one before that. I showed the fabric and I explained how sometimes the fabric chooses the pattern. And this was one of those cases where the fabric chose the pattern. And the fabric was by Sunny Dye's fabric. It was Snow Moon on 28 count Lugana. So the fabric, let me see if I can show you this before I show you. The fabric has the moon. It's a hand-painted fabric, and it has the moon on the fabric with some silver glitter. And I decided that I wanted to do Mirabilia's Lily of the Woods. I'll insert a picture here. And I wanted to do it in such a way where the fairy was laying underneath the moon, because she's like this. That's the position that she's in, like this. She's sleeping on a pillow underneath some cherry blossoms, and I wanted her to be where she was sleeping. I wanted those cherry blossoms to fall right into the moonlight, so it looked like she was bathing in the moonlight. So initially, this was a labor of love that I could not get through without the help of Tracy, because we started this. Oh, let me go into that other thing. There's something new that we started. I can tell you I started this on my birthday. And the reason why I can tell you I started this on my birthday was because I was chatting with her and I decided that since I always want to have a Mirabilia on the go, and the Raven Queen has been finished, I haven't started a new Mirabilia yet. So I said I'm going to start a Mirabilia every single year on my birthday. And she's going to do the same thing with me. She's going to help celebrate my birthday by starting a Mirabilia with me. And then we'll both start something that she wants to do on her birthday. Maybe it's a long dog sampler, because we both love long dog, but you know, it's all about her on her birthday, as it should be. But whatever she wants to start annually on her birthday, I'll support that and celebrate that with her. But we coined that day the first annual Mira Letitia New Start. First annual. I don't know. We had a lot of time on our hands, obviously. But long story short, I chose my Lily of the Woods, and of course it had to be on this fabric. And initially I had the fabric going horizontally with the moon on the left or the right. And I was having such a hard time figuring out where to position her. I mean, I got out the tape measure, you know, the whole planning process took well over an hour. Well over an hour. And she was talking me through it, and she was giving her ideas. And I was trying so hard to figure out how to lay her under the moon horizontally with the fabric on a horizontal axis when I did that, I didn't like that the moon was either going to be behind her on the right or way in front of her on the left. So Tracy said, well, turn the fabric vertically. And I said, I didn't think that I would have enough room, because unfortunately, since this is 28 count, it was literally coming down to, I would only have like 1.5 inches on each side. And I'm sure I would want this framed. So I was very nervous about not having enough selvage, but it's like, well, 1.5 inches, you could probably do it, but still. And if I put her smack dab in the middle, because that's where I'm used to starting, I'm just conditioned to start in the middle. If I put her in the middle, I didn't like where the trees were laying. It just looked off center. So Tracy suggested that, and this made me so nervous, like I clutched my pearls, I didn't know what to do. She said, start underneath the moon where you want the blossoms to fall. And I literally had a, what do you mean start under the moon? That means I'm not starting in the middle. What are you talking about? Kind of moment. Like I froze and forgot how to do math and forgot I was a smart person and could figure this out, because I was so thrown off by the fact that she was suggesting I start somewhere else. And I just couldn't wrap my head around it. It was kind of, you know, that fear that you get when you start a new project that you've never started before, like when you first poke the needle and thread into a new chatelaine, or if you're a new stitcher, newer stitcher, you're first having an earth design, or something where you take on some new feat that you haven't done before and you're intimidated. This was my moment. And I was going through that, but I just slowly measured and slowly figured it out with her help, and I was taking pictures and, you know, sending her video clips, and together we planned where this would lay, and I think it's going to be absolutely spectacular. So without further ado, because that was a whole lot of talking, this is the Mirabilia. So right here you're seeing, yeah, all that, and this is all I have on here. All that talking, and this is all I have. But anyway, right here, let me lean back. You see the moon, right? And you see these green vines. They're actually a very dark olive green. These are the branches of the cherry blossom tree. So if you can picture it with me, the cherry blossom tree is just kind of, you know, in the forefront, and in the background you have this huge full moon, and then she is going to be right, wait a minute, she is going to be like right here, and there is going to be room, unless I forgot how to count, anything can happen, but as of today, we're going with that. There is going to be room for her to lay underneath the tree, and there's going to be room on the top, the bottom, and left and the right, because there's also a whole lot of negative space that's being taken into account when you do that whole finished project dimension, when you do that whole measurement. There's a lot of negative space there, so I'm hoping that it'll turn out the way that I envisioned. But Tracy, thank you so much for helping me to bring that to life, because I was stuck. I was stuck on stupid for like a long time. But yeah, an hour and some change in the planning process, and here we go. So I'm very excited about that. I haven't done anything with it much since my birthday, but Been doing a lot of rotations this past week, just pulling out different things that, you know, spoke to me or whatever I was feeling like working on. And so those are my whips. That's what's going on in my world. And that has silver glitter sprinkled throughout it. This is the same company. I sent Danielle a piece of hand-painted fabric by them that was different pastel-y, rainbowy colors. Wasn't really my speed, but it was the same thing, except it had gold glitter sprinkled throughout the fabric, and this is silver, so that's going to be really pretty. But that's it for my whips. So, sorry. Last Friday, June 23rd, was my birthday. And without going into a whole lot of detail, that week is proving to be a very difficult week for me, because the Sunday before my birthday is always Father's Day. And then, of course, my birthday comes. And that week is I'm emotionally challenged during that week. And I think it was 2 days before my birthday, I received this huge box from Emily. And the funny thing was, when I got this box, I didn't pick it up, my husband did. So I went downstairs and I saw this box sitting on the counter. I'm like, what is that? And I opened it up, and it was impeccably packaged. Come to find out, Jimmy Flosstube actually packed everything in there, so that was a treat. But it was impeccably packaged. Like there was something in there that was breakable, and nothing moved, because when I picked up the box, I actually shook it like a little kid. Nothing shifted. So I opened it up, and I'm sorry if I'm shivering, but it's cold up here. I'm right near the vent and the AC is on. I opened it up, and inside was this beautiful mug that I don't have with me, with these two owls on it. And it was almost looked a little vintagey. It was absolutely beautiful. I loved it, and I saw it, and I instantly said, oh, well, that's it. That's me and Emily sitting on a little tree, you know, two little owls, because we both love owls. So come to find out, Megan from Stitch in May, she helped Emily to pick that out. So that was very sweet. And I sent her a message thanking her for her input. But I love the mug. And I'll show it eventually, because I use it all the time. And then below the mug was this project bag. First of all, it was a huge project bag. And when I show it to you, you'll see why I loved it. So let this officially begin the segment of the Peacock Parade. Trisha, my fellow fan of the Peacock, brace yourself. Just brace yourself. I'll wait. Okay, I'm done. So I opened up, dug into the box, and this was the project bag. Oh my word. Guys, let me zoom in here. Or lean in. I didn't zoom in, I just leaned in. Do you see this detail on this bag? Do you see this? I mean, look at that. Let me turn it so you can see the tail properly. Look at that. And then it's a big bag. It's not like for the 8x8. I don't even know. I think the 11x11 will fit in here. I didn't try, but I think it will. But I love that it's a nice big bag, and it's deep rather than wide, because I haven't seen any like this. Come to find out, Emily had this custom made for me. Do you know how special? Ooh, wait a minute. I'm getting choked up. I'm sorry, but do you know how special that is to know that somebody put that much thought and energy into giving you something special that you would love on your birthday. It meant the world to me. Just to know, because when I looked at this package, because it's filled, when I looked at everything in here, I thought to myself, oh my God, this woman really, really took time to put this together. And apparently she's been working on getting this together for over a month. And I can tell. But you will see when I show you this, I don't even have the words to say how much it touched me. But when I read, because she left me a note, because I always send her a little note if I send her something. I send a note explaining everything that she's getting, so she did the same thing for me. But when I read that she had this custom made for me, I was done. So let's open it up and see what's inside. So not only did she have that custom made, but she had a Peacock grime guard made for me as well. And this is for an 11 by 11 frame, and it's not neatly folded up anymore, Emily, because I've been using it, and I love it. I don't know who made these for her, so you might have to reach out to Emily directly, maybe send her a private message. Sorry about that. I just had a coughing fit. I think my throat is really dry. So what I was saying was, you might, I don't know who made these, so you may need to reach out to Emily to find out if you're interested. But I'm pretty sure, I'm not pretty sure, but I believe that the same person made both of these. And the funny thing is, she said in her note that neither one of these fabrics are what she chose. I think she said that. I think she said neither one of these are the fabrics that she chose. So I'm assuming whatever she chose wasn't available. But these, Emily, these are the fabrics I would have picked. So I'm very happy. So thank you. So that's the grime guard. Then she sent me, about to be some crinkling, she sent me a piece of fabric that she thought I might like, and she was absolutely right. It is a beautiful piece of 32 count Belfast linen by Hand Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie in the colorway Sweet Pea. Absolutely love that color. It's like a bright chartreuse, if that helps. It's very bright, but it's not like fluorescent bright. It's like a yellowy green. That's the best way I can describe it, like a bright chartreuse, but it's really beautiful. So I'll definitely be using that. Let's see how much time I have left. Then she sent me a peacock pattern, one of many, so Peacock Parade, right? By the Courtney collection. This is the same designer that is doing her Mermaid Folly. Is that what it's called? I also have that. Mermaid's Folly. Yeah, I also have that. I have it. She didn't send it to me. This is the company that did Nightmare. This is the company that is doing, I think it's called Wee Beasties, that McKenna is doing. But this is the Peacock. And it's a monochromatic pattern, which we all know I love. So I love that she chose that because I love a monochromatic pattern and I love a peacock. So, duh. But this was the reason why I have a 1, 2, 3 stitch order. So what I wanted to do with this pattern, I wanted to do the frame, the body, and the head of the peacock in all black. I wanted to keep the integrity of the pattern, of the project, of the design that way. But from this point, the top of his tail, right here, from the top of his tail all the way down, I want all of this plumage to be done in variegated. So I searched online, and you know how it is to search online, and I found Dinky Dye's Havana, and to me, online, that looked like the colors in the tail of a peacock. So hopefully it will be what I envision. If not, I will go and find it. So the whole entire tail will be in this variegated color with one strand of turquoise blending filament. So there'll be a little bit of sparkle. There'll be a little bit of that little turquoise blue going throughout. Because the Havana, it has the greens, it has the browns and all the colors that go into the peacock's tail, but it doesn't have much blue, if any. But it still, to me, looked like a peacock's tail. Online, anyway. So when I receive that, we'll see. But that's my plan for this. And I picked up a piece of, I want to say, I got 18 count. Is it 18 count? I think I got 18 count Aida. And the reason why I chose Aida was because this pattern is so tall that I would have needed a half a yard of fabric to, excuse me, complete this. And I didn't want to spend $50 on the fabric. So I went the less expensive route and I got Aida. And I think it'll be fine. I don't mind Aida. I don't dislike Aida, so it'll be fine. The only thing that bothers me about Aida is that it can tend to be very stiff, but I find that when it's hand-dyed, because it's manipulated so much, it's much more flexible. So I don't mind Aida, so hopefully that'll work. But I'll show you, I'll record, obviously, the stuff when it comes in so you can see what I'm talking about. Next in the Peacock parade is the Peacock Manor sampler. And this was designed by Sandra Sullivan for Homespun Elegance. Love that. Love that. In this piece, when I look at it, I see Emily in the style. And then, of course, it has like the touch, the peacock, which is my touch, but I just love it. So you can see you can either do the single motif for the picture, and then you see there's a bit of a table runner down there. So that was also in there. I don't know why my throat is so dry. She sent me a magazine that looks brand new, but I can tell it's an older magazine, and I searched and searched and searched, and I couldn't find what year this is from. But it's in excellent condition. But look at the picture on the cover. That's why she sent it. So it has a peacock, it has a butterfly, a tiger, deer, it looks like a little badger or something, and some birds, and some monkeys. They're not monkeys, but they're primates. I don't know what type of animal it is, what the official name is. And there's something in the tree that looks like a fox, but I don't know if foxes climb trees, so I don't know what it is, but it's beautiful. What is that? See, those are the primates I was talking about. I know they have a name. I don't know what it is. And then there's little birds in there. Love the tiger, love the peacock, love everything. But this is what inspired her to pick up the magazine. And this is Mary Hickmet's New Stitches. But for the life of me, I couldn't see what year it was from. And then she sent me some color and cotton hand-dyed flosses. And I think there's 5 different flosses in there. Really pretty. Beautiful colors. I'll definitely find something to... One of them might end up in the peacock, maybe. Then she sent... Blew me away. So precious. She sent me... I'm trying to open this carefully so they don't go flying. She sent me a beautiful pair of moonstone earrings. Little teardrop earrings. Aren't they beautiful? So sweet and delicate. And Emily, I did wear them on my birthday. Thank you so much. Absolutely love those. Then there's more. She sent me little Bella butt. Little pug Bella. Needle minder. Oh, it looks like my little Bella butt. And that I told her, I said, that face, that is Bella to a T. That's her face when she thinks she's in trouble, or when she thinks that when she did something wrong and she's wondering if we know, or if it's Tuesday, or if it's Thursday. That's just her face all the time. Perpetually confused and adorably cute. And then finally, something just fell. I don't know what it is. She sent me a So Much to Love project bag. Apparently, I have taken Emily down the rabbit hole with me. I sent her a while ago. I think it was for her birthday, actually. It was. I sent her what turned out to be her first So Much to Love project bag. And she fell in love. And I think she went tumbling down that rabbit hole since that day. And it's an awesome rabbit hole to fall down into. So Much to Love project bags. I love the quality. I love the texture. Karen makes an impeccable bag. Love it. So she sent me one with these beautiful birds. How pretty is this? How beautiful is this bag? And she has the same one. So now we have two bags that are exactly the same, because the owl bag that I sent her, because again, we love owls, I have it. It's like brown with multiple colors on it, but I got her one and sent it to her, and she did the same. She sent me a matching bag. And that's the beautiful interior. So this, you guys, was just beyond fabulous. And then there's a lovely note that, you know, I'll keep to myself. But this was beyond fabulous. Her timing was impeccable, because I'm telling you, and I told her, I said I went downstairs and I was sad. At that moment, my heart was hurting. So when I went downstairs and I saw this box and I started to open it up, she brought me so much joy. It brought me so much joy, and I felt so much love, and it lifted my spirits, and it still does. It still lifts my spirits. Like, just reopening it and sharing it with you guys, my heart is full. I just, yeah, friends for life, homie, friends for life. So, yeah. So that is the beautiful love gift from my friend Emily, and I just wanted to share it with you guys. It also is what kickstarted me into doing another video after all this time, because I wanted to share with the world being Flosstube, this beautiful gift. So you can thank Emily for me showing up again after 3 months. But yeah, this is what inspired me to record, and because this is the type of love gift that is meant to be shared. So thank you, my friend. But that is all that I have to share. This segment is about 45 minutes, so we're probably looking at a super juicy video that's going to take minimum 6 to 7 months to upload. So, you know, sit back, relax, enjoy the show. I hope you're stitching with me while you're watching this. Well, not with me, but I hope you're stitching while you're watching this. What I want to do in my upcoming videos, obviously when my package comes in for 1, 2, 3 stitch, I'm really going to talk through my plans for that peacock. So I'll share that with you. I also want to do the 20 random facts tag. I don't do a lot of tags. If you guys haven't noticed that, I don't really have a reason why. Excuse me, I'm so sorry, but I do know the reason why. It has to do a lot with laziness, because I have to pull up the questions and then get them organized, and while I would like to do that, I just never do. So I just don't do a lot of tags, but I love them. I love watching them. But the 20 random facts, I love that one. It was so fun hearing some interesting things about you guys. I particularly loved the I call them Jimmy Flosstube and Emily. They both did 20 random facts, the 20 random facts tag, but they said 20 random facts about each other. And it was so funny. It was so funny. If you haven't watched it, which I'm sure you have, because we all fangirl Emily, go watch it. It's fun. So I also love Dina's. I think Dina did it as well. Several people did it, but the only people I can think of right now are Jimmy Flosstube, Emily, and Dina. So I will be doing that in my next video. Keep me honest. If I don't do it, remind me. But I did write it down, so I'll probably do it. And there was another tag that I wanted to do. Of course, I can't remember. This is why you write things down. So that's all for now. I hope you're enjoying the summer, because the last time we talked it was spring. And it's finally starting to feel like summertime here in Baltimore. Normally it's hot and humid by May. I think in May it was still cold. Not cold, but like 70 degrees. But now it's in the 90s. It's typically humid. The sun is shining every day. It's summertime in Baltimore. So anyway, I wish you all a beautiful day and beautiful summer and happy stitching, and I will catch up with you on the flip side. Bye.